It's that time of the year again. Reviewing your LEGO photos, we are back with episode 3. Last year we did 2 episodes, and again, the caliber of photographs is insane, and this one is probably the best I've ever seen. For sure, out of this entire series, there are some photos in here that genuinely looked, I need a better word than insane or incredible, just downright incredible. Yeah. But there's something a little bit different with this episode is we've got a new chair. Finally! I mean, the chair I had before was crumbling at the seams. It wasn't looking too good, but we went to IKEA and we got a brand new chair that is it's just a lot better. You can do a lot of cool things with it, you know? I'm just happy to have a better chair now that can support my back a little bit more. But anyway, that's not what you came here for. If you're unfamiliar with these videos, my name is Brian and I am a LEGO photographer. And what I like to do every now and then is get my audience from Instagram to send over their best LEGO photographs for me to review. I'm not by any means a professional LEGO photographer. I simply want to do these videos so then I can kind of showcase the talent of LEGO photography and just put it into a good video for people to see. And also inspire. So without further ado, we've got coffee, we've got the photos, and let's get into it. First photo, this one caught my attention right away, and that is from Alex SB Photography. How creative is this? It's a LEGO camera and it has this beautiful rainbow like streak coming out. And I know it's not Photoshop, you can accomplish this through like different windows and stuff like that. But this is just incredibly creative. It's nice that that rainbow color actually suits the strap band as well. I mean, this is just insane. There's like a little lens flare on the camera as well. Yeah, I think this is just such a beautiful and creative image. I've never seen anything like it for LEGO photography. So Alex, you're starting this episode very, very strong. I haven't got much to say other than that this is an incredible photograph. Thank you for submitting. Next we move on to Ben Flicks, and I had to choose this one as, you know, Jurassic Park and, you know, having him through the, you know, weeds or the grass. I really liked how you've placed them because you've got it so that the light is on his eye. Like there's a lot of shadows covering a majority of this dinosaur, but it's important that you kept the eye in. And also the contrast between the oranges and the greens looks really nice. You've color graded this very nicely. This is such a nice shot. I really like this photograph. It can be kind of tricky shooting in like a bright sunny day like this, and sometimes parts of the, you know, LEGO set will be like overexposed, but in this case it's like beautifully exposed and very creative shooting it in the grass like this, you know, as if the T-Rex is like popping out and, you know, scaring the viewer. It's you know, beautiful photograph. Thank you so much for submitting. We're really rolling through these quite quickly because they're just incredible shots. Next we move on to Bricky_shots. This is what I mean. This is what I was saying when I said this episode is just probably one of the best. Look at how beautiful this image is. Let's first talk about the colors. The colors in the sky look absolutely beautiful. The colors inside as well, like from the floor to Queen Amidala, the colors are so natural together. They contrast beautifully together. It is a perfect image. And that subtle light on her face is it's just perfect. And the composition as well, you could have had this character kind of like in the center close to the window, but keeping it slightly to the right and then the window to the left just creates for a beautiful composition. And it seems like there's a bit of moisture on the windows as well, so maybe you put a little bit of water on the ground to make that reflection so prominent. So that's really interesting to see. This is such a stunning image. I would have loved to see what this would look like as a landscape as well. If you had the space to do that, that'd be interesting to see. But man, this is, you know, a unique take on LEGO Star Wars, and it is such a beautiful shot. Thank you so much for submitting this. This is awesome. Next we move on to Echo Sin Brick, and this image caught my attention for many reasons. One, the composition. Having the helmet off to the top left is a really unique composition, and I think it works in this case. Also the lighting on the rock and also the helmet looks really, really nice, and just kind of like the moody atmosphere to it. It's a really unique looking image. It's got that nice mix of like dark and light, and the way you've positioned the helmet looks, you know, really dramatic. My only critique is I said this before in a previous video, but I genuinely believe that putting a watermark on your images is just, I don't know, it kind of ruins the image. I used to be very guilty of this, as you can see with these photos. I was horrific with some of these watermarks. I don't think you should be too worried about people stealing this. Again, this is up to you, but personally I think watermarks don't really need to be on LEGO images. But other than that, this is a really cool image. It's off topic really, but this is a really cool image. Love the lighting, love the composition, and also just you know, the unique way that you've set up these rocks makes the helmet look really cool and really dramatic. So really cool shot. Thank you for submitting. Next, probably one of my favorite images from this series was Lego Legends. And yeah, this is a beautiful shot for many reasons. I really like how you've shot Darth Vader in what looks like a log, and it's like the opening of a log or something like that. So it's a good eye for that. Also, the way the sunlight comes through, it kind of casts a nice shadow on the background, which looks really cool. You've photoshopped the lightsaber very, very well. I kind of like how you've got his arm sticking out with the saber. If it was like pulled in, it would look a little bit squished, but the way you've composed this looks really nice. So props to you for doing that, because that takes patience. Now this is a small critique, but I can see that with your Photoshop, you've kind of like brushed over Darth Vader with the lightsaber and also brushed over the tree trunk. Now in this situation, the light from the sun would be too harsh to do that, I'm pretty sure. Like maybe doing it close to his arm would make sense, and you just want to be really subtle. The way I do it is I look for the actual natural highlights on the figure, and I just put the saber red over those highlights rather than creating just like a general red light over the character. But again, this is such a small nitpick. This is a really cool image. I would have liked to see a little bit more color though, like maybe grab some moss and like stick it around the trunk, but other than that, I think this is a really cool image. Thank you so much for submitting. See what I mean? These images, you guys are just killing it. You're seriously killing it today. So next we've got Mini Bricks 2.0 with this beautiful image. I keep saying beautiful, spectacular, and incredible, but these images truly are. I just love the way that you've set this shot up. It looks very natural. It's very balanced as well. Like you have the two bushes on the left along with that trooper's helmet, and then you have the big rock and then the trooper in the background, and that balances it so well. Really good attention to detail there. I like how you've got a few sand grains on Boba Fett. That looks very, very nice. Only small critique is that little rock next to his blaster, but I think it would have been nice to remove it simply because it just looks like it's stuck to his blaster, which, you know, kind of detracts from it a little bit. But again, it's such a small nitpick. I like how you've got what probably was Qui-Gon Jinn's poncho. If you don't mind, I might steal this idea of putting the poncho on Boba Fett's character because I think it looks really cool. So yeah, this is a beautiful image. I love it. I don't know if you've done this in, you know, your garage or, you know, at home or on location, but either way, you've set this image up with both the Lego elements and also the practical elements. So very well done. Thank you very much for submitting this image. Again, another banger. We got minifig on camera. Beautiful shot. The colors look incredible. I don't know if this is a character that you've kind of like built together using your imagination, or it's like a character that comes with a Lego set, but either way, this guy suits the location very, very well. From the reflection and also like, you know, ripple in the water from him walking, it's just, I don't know if you've done that intentionally, but it's such a beautiful touch to the image. It looks so stunning. Like these are the sort of photos I wish I took when I was, you know, just starting Lego photography, because this is so incredible. And having his character like slightly looking to the right so that you can still see his face. Like you've really nailed the details here. You've taken this image the best you can in this location. You've got him in the water where you can actually see his reflection properly. If you had him on the right in that little white reflective part, I don't think it would have looked as good, but you've got him in this part of the river, which looks beautiful. You can get the full reflection. This is the type of stuff that you print on your wall because it just looks so incredible. So huge props to you, man. This is such a cool photo. Well done. And thank you for submitting. Damn, I need to change my batteries. Done. Right, back to the photos. This is the best episode. I don't care what anyone says, this is the best episode of this series. Nostalgic pics with this beautiful snail shot. Just goes to show you that you don't always need to use Lego figures. You can also use small Lego sets like these and you get just as good photographs. You know, this is such a perfect spot for this guy. It looks like he's going to get a drink of water. This moss looks so like, you know, textured and weathered and stuff. That looks really cool. And you've picked a great day for this as well. The sunlight looks really nice. It's not too over the top and it's just enough to kind of highlight both the figure and also just this general scene. So yeah, this is great shot. And I don't know why, but it's really cool that there's like little grass blades just like, you know, poking out and just hitting the water. That looks really cool. If this spot is accessible for you, it'd be kind of cool if you could put some sort of monster just in the water at the bottom there, as if it's about to spring up. I think that would look really cool. But other than that, this is such a cool shot. I love it. Such a cool photo. Thank you very much for submitting. Moving on to another banger image. We have got Ollie Tile 32, pretty self-explanatory. We've got this beautiful shot of Batman after, you know, of course, the big boom in The Dark Knight. I think this would be pretty underrated if you just saw it from like a general glance, but there's a few things that really stick out to me. One, the lighting is really, really good. Two, the way you've got Batman balanced on all of these, you know, Lego bricks that are loosely placed is really, really good. The background, I don't know what you use for the background, but it suits the scene very well. And it almost seems like there's a bit of a haze going on. And I'm trying to figure out how you lit this image, and it's very difficult to tell, which is good because it's like the lighting for it is just perfect. It really is. It's obviously not one-to-one with the actual movie, but that's what I like about it. It's your take on the scene basically. And of course, having Batman looking down as well is a huge plus, because if you just had him standing up straight, it wouldn't have that same dramatic effect that it does in the movies. So yeah, this is a really cool image. I keep saying really cool image. I need to improve my vocabulary. And I kind of like that it's the Batman with the yellow belt across, because it kind of adds a little bit of contrast to this scene. If it was just him black and blue, I mean, yeah, it would look nice, but just having a, you know, that little pop of color looks really cool. So yeah, fantastic image. Thank you for submitting. Next, we move on to Ollie6478, and this image, you know, stood out to me because of just how unique it was. I don't know if you've used a, you know, laptop screen or what you've done with the background, but it looks so sick. And the way you've got lightning on his weapon looks so mean. It looks really, really cool. I don't know if you've done that in Photoshop. I assume you have. Yeah, I really like that addition. It, you know, looks really cool. My only critique is like maybe add a little bit more glow to his face, as if that electricity is like right in his face. I really like the colors. I like the composition, and just like it almost looks like he's, you know, in his own world with, you know, that lightning in the background, and the bokeh looks really cool. So yeah, this is a really unique image, and I think it's really cool. So another critique would be just to see a little bit more color or a little bit more light on Jay, as you kind of lose him in the background a little bit. But other than that, this is a, I'm not gonna say it, this is a spectacular image. It's unique, it's creative, and also those slight elements of, you know, just the electricity in the background makes for a very, very spectacular image. So thank you very much for submitting. Next, we move on to SD Photo Bricks, and I have a lot of questions. Number one, where is that Lego arm from? Because I've never seen that before and I really want to get one. Another thing is that bat has nails on it. That's really sick. How did you accomplish that, you know, really nice haze in that blue in the background? Because this is an incredible image. I really like it. The attention to detail is on point. Like, you know, having those little, I guess, light dust particles from both lights really add to this atmosphere. And just the overall scene, it feels like you are actually in their world, like properly. This is a really nice image. It feels really, really large. I don't know what kind of camera you would have used to photograph this, but it looks really cool. And the character that you've made for this is just perfect for this kind of situation. I mean, it tells a story right away. And I also love the contrast of the blues and kind of like the dark reds like merging together. Kind of like symbolizes the good versus evil sort of thing, which is really cool. So yeah, if you can, I'd love to know how you did this image, because it's really incredible and really unique as well, and very well executed. So thank you very much for submitting. Right, next image comes from Stories of the Bricks, and this is just a beautiful story in a really nice snowy area. I really like the snow particles and also just the story. Having a polar bear on the top of this Land Rover, it looks so cool. I kind of also like how it looks like the Land Rover is kind of bogged, like kind of stuck in the snow, and he has to kind of stay in his car, and now there's like a polar bear on top. My only critique was maybe shoot a little bit lower, so then the polar bear is in that dark area of the landscape, so then you can kind of see him a little bit better. Just helps to separate him from the background. It also would have been nice to see a little bit of snow maybe on the hood, or, you know, just pushed into the tires, because when you drive over snow you get that snow grit and mud around the tires, so that would have been cool to see. You just do that by moving it through the snow. Small nitpicks, but this is a really cool image. I love the contrast of the yellow and the white, separates from the background really nicely, and you've focused in on that character really well, so this is a cool image. Thank you so much for submitting. Now, a recurring guest from this series, we have got Redline Images, and yeah, beautiful shot, man. I love this. I don't know if this is a knight that you've built yourself or if it comes with a Lego set. Either way, very cool image. I think I have this Lego dragon or whatever, and I like how you've changed the headpiece inside to black to make it look like it's a proper Lego dragon and not someone just like dressed up as one. So that's really cool. I also like the angle that you've got. I think this is called the Dutch angle, where it's like off center. I think it works really well for this kind of like scenario. Sand particles, of course, look really cool on his walking stick. Great story, great execution, and also the lighting is very, very nice. So again, you're killing it, man. I really love these images, and thank you very much for submitting again. Next, we move on to probably one of the most unique images from this series, and that is from Zero Camera Skills. And that is a very contradicting username because there's a lot of skill in this image, I gotta tell you. So it looks like he's done like bubbles here, and it's really cool because you get these really nice purples and, you know, weird colors going on. And the fact that he's put it next to flowers, just, it's such a creative idea. Having those colors interact in this unique way is really awesome. And also having the spaceman as well, like, you know, looking at it all looks really cool. It almost, like, you can kind of think of like these flowers pushing the bubbles out, which is really cool. Such a beautiful image. I love the colors, I love the composition, and also just the idea. I don't know how many times it would have taken to get this image. If you've seen my previous video of me doing Lego bubble photography, you'll know it takes a lot to get the, you know, perfect image. You've done very well for, you know, this little scene. I love the details behind it, and also just the decision to photograph this next to Lego flowers is really unique and really awesome. So I really, really dig this image, and yeah, thank you very much for submitting. I love seeing photos like this. Yeah, this is why I do this series. I get to see these Lego photographs and I get to show them to the world with you guys as well. So it's not just their audience seeing it, it's like I can just push it out a little bit further and just show you guys the incredible Lego photography there is around the world. And yeah, that was all the photos we were going to review today. Thank you so much for everyone who submitted these photos. I will definitely be doing another one of these. This is not going to be the last time. I'm going to do at least 4 or 5 more of these throughout the year. So make sure you're subscribed. Follow my Instagram as well for updates on when I'll be accepting images. But yeah, that's episode 3 done. And yeah, huge thank you again to everyone who submitted these. This is by far the best episode, I think, because the images were just incredible and it was really hard choosing through all the images. So yeah, huge thank you. So until the next episode, I guess I'll see you then. Thanks again, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.